Hello once again. We have gathered in the beautiful Johannesburg today thanks to the South African TVET Student Association, where we're discussing all things TVET, the curriculum, the stakeholders also involved within the sector and how it is that we can improve it. And speaking about improving it, first let me introduce my co-host. Kamba is my co-host. So hello, Kamba.
Hey, sis.
All right, again. With us today, as a part of those important stakeholders which I mentioned in my introduction, we have Mr. Emmanuel Mbue, who is the acting CEO of the QCTO. So guys, welcome to our show, if I can call it that.
Thank you. Thank
we're,
you.
we're happy to have you here.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, today we're in the business of discussing TVET, everything about it when it comes to the curriculum, when it comes to its structures, when it comes to also making improvements in it. You mentioned in your presentation about how we are well on the way to them being institutions of choice. And what do you think the work there has taken? What is it that we have done correctly to make them institutions of choice? Or do we still have a longer way to go in making TVET colleges institutions of choice?
Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot for that question. In a nutshell, what I can say is that the way is very short now to make TVETs institutions of choice because there's been quite a lot of preparation work that has been done.
Sure.
For instance, one of the biggest things why TVETs were not institution of choice was the static curriculum, which was not changing, which was outdated.
Sure.
In other words, when learners were trained, they go to industry complain and say these people don't know what is happening currently. The curriculum is outdated. So the QCTO has developed quite a lot of current curriculum now. We've done close to 1,000 occupation qualifications. We've got over 300 skills programs that are ready to be taken. Yeah, and we've also accredited all TVETs for at least one qualification. I can put it like that. So we are very much on the way to make TVETs institutions of choice.
Nice.
All right. So now, my question would be, you've been around since 2010. That's like a decade plus 5 years. That's 15 years, to be correct. But now the TVET sector is making a change as far as the curriculum is concerned. Does that mean you now, as the QCTO, are you guys making any changes? Are you tweaking anything, maybe to align with the new reality, so to speak?
Okay, yeah, it's true indeed. The QCTO is still very young, just under 15 years old and so forth. And we've been quite hidden, by the way. Not a lot of people knew about us, but we're not just hidden doing nothing. We were hibernating, in fact, brewing this change.
Sure.
Okay. You were cooking something, as the millennials would say.
Yeah, we were cooking something. Yeah. Most of the change that you are seeing now, it's because of the work that has been happening in the background by the QCTO. So we've been developing this curriculum, benchmarking, trialing them and testing them, and now we are ready to really make a big impact, especially on the TVET space. Yeah.
And I think for me, just to conceptualize what you were speaking about from, legacy to occupational qualifications, the occupational qualifications we've heard throughout the conference on the importance of them, rather, and how they are ultimately the bedrock in making, TVET students employable, getting ready for the workplace. The transition from legacy to occupational, qualifications and skills. How has that been? Are we still working at it? Maybe outline if there have been any challenges in that regard.
Okay. Yes. The transition has been challenging, as you can know. Our space, PZ sector, post-school education and training sector, it's very complicated. We've got over 20 different institutions, counting SETA as one. If you count SETA as 21, so we've got close to 40 different institutions that are stakeholders in this whole thing. But that works to us as an advantage more than being a disadvantage, because it means whatever goes out there, it will have been seriously trialed and tested. because of that sort of, you can look at it as a resistance, but we don't look at it as a resistance. We look at it as a perfect a refining way to perfect what we are doing. But what I can tell you is that most of the stakeholders are on board now, and the transition is happening very, very nicely. For instance, most of the lecturers are on board. We've been training a lot of them in terms of this transition. All the sitters are on board as we speak. DIET has been helping us quite a lot as well in terms of getting access to TVETs as well as access to other structure like your subcore and so forth. We've had meetings with institutions like some labor unions and so forth, and explain exactly that this transition, it's not really, if you look at it, it's not really something completely new, by the way. We are just perfecting what has been there.
Got you.
In other words, the NATED, if you look at the NATED, there was theory being done, practical being done, but the workplace experience was lacking. And so we are perfecting everything that has been there. So which makes it even easier once people get to know exactly what is happening. Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Bull, thank you so much for joining us. I think maybe any parting remarks quickly on the entire conference as a whole, what it stands for, the work being done by the students, any words of encouragement really as we go forward.
Yeah, what I can say is that this is quite encouraging to see students coming together in a professional way like this. They are doing very good. It gives hope for the future. South Africa belongs to these students,
Sure.
and things are changing very fast. It's very good to see that they are accepting this whole change in such a receptive way, because it's to their advantage.
Sure.
Yeah, because we don't want. There's a lot of international companies coming to South Africa, from China, from even America, and all those countries. We don't want them to bring their own employees and says our employees are not fit for purpose. So it's very good that the students are doing this type of things. I think they're gonna succeed in what we do.
That's encouraging to hear.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Njagazi, for your time.
Thanks a
All
lot.
right, everybody. That was the acting CEO of QCTO. We are still live at the Birchwood Hotel and Conference Center. We're speaking everything TVET with the South African TVET Students Association. We'll be back on the next one. See you soon.